Want to get out of the gym and run sessions outdoors? Here is your blueprint. Welcome back to the Storm Fitness Academy podcast. And I'm outdoors again in the sunny Sussex countryside because this is part 2 of my outdoor PT playbook series. So we're doing 3 episodes all about outdoor training, really hoping that it inspires some people to get outdoors, enjoy what nature has to offer, and hope more PTs take clients outdoors as well. So it's not just good for the client, it's good for the PT. Now, as I mentioned in the last episode, one of my first fitness businesses was training clients outdoors, and the company name was called Storm Outdoor Fitness. And I've got such fond memories of those days, training people in all sorts of weather. Obviously, the beautiful sunshine was one of the fondest memories, but another very fond memory I have was actually training clients in the snow. Shout out to Emma. Emma, he's one of our students. She came to a class the other day and she used to go to Storm Outdoor Fitness back in the day. And she asked if I was there during the snowball class, the infamous snowball class. And I said, yes, I was. Yeah, it brought back some lovely memories. And I think towards the end of the main session, we actually did some sledging. So we had a couple of sledges. I remember I bought a couple of tow ropes from Halfords, tied one to the front of each, attached it to a harness, and we did sled races. So we did it in teams, we did it in relays. So you can get outdoors in all weathers and enjoy what nature has to offer. Okay, I'm going to go through some questions now that I've had from my PTs over the years about setting up a business outdoors, an outdoor fitness business. So whether that's running boot camp, doing one-to-one PT, small groups, it's the traditional questions I get asked quite regularly. Okay, here's the first one. Do I need insurance or a permit to train clients outdoors? You definitely need insurance. Yeah, you need public liability insurance and professional indemnity. And now that's pretty standard insurance there. Not too difficult to get that. As long as you've got your PT qualifications, you can contact an insurance company. If you Google it, we use a company called Westminster. They're very good. You can normally speak to somebody on the phone you tell them a bit about your business, who you plan on training where, and they'll give you a bit of advice on what insurance is best for you. But yeah, public liability and professional indemnity. You might want to get some insurance for your equipment if you're taking equipment outdoors, if you're worried about it getting damaged or stolen. But often you can actually add that onto your motor insurance or even your home insurance. So you can investigate those options as well. With regards to a permit, it really does depend on the council that you're located in. So when I first started, I was based in Shoreham by Sea, and we were under Ada Council at the time. And Ada Council did require us to fill out quite a long form and give them copies of our liability insurance, and we did actually have to pay to access the park. Now that was for doing group exercise, and I don't think that would have been the case for one-to-one PT. If you're not going to be in the same spot all the time, if you're going to be moving around. Now Brighton, at the time, didn't charge anything. Now, I believe that may have changed now. I think Brighton might have changed, I'm not sure. But for many years, you didn't have to pay a penny. As long as you had your insurance and what have you, you just used the parks and used the outdoors. London used to have a flat rate that you would pay just an annual fee, and you could use any park anywhere in London. A lot more cost effective than Ada Council. Just have a look at your local area, contact them, find out what their specific requirements are. What's the best way to find and secure a location? This really depends on whether you're going to be doing boot camps. You're wanting like a static location where everybody meets up every week, same time, same place, or whether you're just going to be a one-to-one PT that kind of moves about. So it might be that there's always the same meeting place, but you go off in different directions. So what I would do is just scout about. I can think of the various towns that I've lived in, and there's certain places that I would just gravitate towards because I just like the feel of them. They're very picturesque, they're quiet, they're calm, they might have wide footpaths. The Downs Link, which goes from Shoreham all the way to Guildford, big broad path there, Great for taking clients for running. If they've got a mountain bike, you can take them out on the mountain bike. If you've put gloves and boxing pads in your backpack, you can park the bike or stop running, do some boxing and pad work, get bands out. You can do your calisthenic type stuff. If you've got parks near you that have calisthenics equipment, bars and things like that, outdoor kit, you can utilize that. If I was going to start again, and who says I won't, by the way, often think about reigniting Storm Outdoor Fitness, relaunching it. I do miss those days. If I was going to do that now, I would probably have a local park where they've got some calisthenics kit that I'll utilise. I'll take my SAQ bag for doing running drills, and I'll take my boxing gloves and pads, and I'd find somewhere I can attach my suspension training, which will probably be in the calisthenics park, and I would use that. So I think that would be my go-to place. With regards to boot camp, you want somewhere that's very spacious, easy to get to. Maybe there's plenty of parking in the nearby roads, and then just contact the council and ask them, can you utilise that? Is that okay? How do I run group versus one-to-one sessions outdoors? Okay, so there's pros and cons to both of these. With one-to-one, I used to love the simplicity of it. It's very easy to manage one person. Pull up at your local park, you get your backpack out, you grab your kit, and you conduct that training session to that one person. You get the clipboard out, the program on there, and it's very easy to administer and deliver and get results because it's one-to-one. You're overseeing every exercise. Group training, a little bit more complex. You've got a lot more people to manage, different personalities, different behaviours. You've got to keep your eyes on everyone doing things correctly. You normally have to take a bit more kit. You've got to manage more probably health and safety aspects, but very fun. The camaraderie from doing boot camps, I used to love the banter. You'd get some personalities in the group that are very loud and often very funny. And you'd get some people in the group that were less talkative, just want to get their head down and get their exercise done, which is fine. You just manage that and you get to know everyone individually, and you set them all their own little individual challenges and tasks and push them to how far you can push them. Tell them to pull back when they need to pull back. So they are two different animals. In an ideal world, I think you'd probably want a bit of a hybrid of both, is have 2 or 3 group classes a week, or even just one, a Saturday morning boot camp. And then the rest of the guys, that if they want more than that, then they have one-to-one or small group training with you. I would probably, with regards to boot camp classes, look at running some sort of subscription basis, because people like to join communities. So if they can join a community, they buy themselves a training top to feel like everybody else. You have some way that they can interact with each other online as well. Then people are buying into the community, the family. And just so happens they're getting some great exercise and some good results out of that as well. And then with the one-to-one, you're selling a program. Whether that program is 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, that's what you're selling. What admin systems and safety checks should I have in place? So admin systems, the first thing I would always have is have a customer relationship management system. I use ActiveCampaign. That's quite comprehensive. If you're just starting out as a PT, you might not want something as comprehensive as that. But just have somewhere, even Google Contacts, where you keep your customers in one place with all the information about them with regards to the PAR-Q information they fill out, so medical information, goals, preferences, etc. Store that in one place that's easy to access. And then you can create groups. So if you're sending out messages, you don't have to write the same thing numerous times to people. You send out one email and it goes to all the relevant people. So definitely look at a customer relationship management system. Google that, have a read, ask ChatGPT, see what it comes up with. And then safety checks. The obvious thing is to carry out what we call a risk assessment. And you can download templates on the HSE website. And so have a look at their templates. You could use those. Doing visual checks. When you turn up to an area, have a look around. Think what could possibly go wrong in this area. Think about the actual kind of facility. So the facility being like the floor, the surface, the obstacles around, bushes, trees. what could go wrong. Think about the environment, so temperature. Are people going to get dehydrated, heat stroke, sunburnt? Look at the weather. How is that going to affect people? Individual needs that might also increase their sort of health and safety risk. So this will all be covered in a downloadable template. Then you need to actually look at putting some control measures in place. So how can I minimize the risk of anything going wrong and just action that? And a lot of this is going to be actually putting some of this on the client. So having a list of health and safety tips that they need to read as part of their membership. It goes out to them. They tick a box to say, I've read through it, I understand it, I accept responsibility for that stuff. If you really wanted to, you could read it out at the start of every session. Probably want to read out a 2-page health and safety checklist, but there might be some key things that you just cover because it's a very hot day, or because it's a very cold day, or because there was some slips and trips that you've now moved, but say like be vigilant. There was some broken glass, I've cleared it, but please be vigilant anyway. So that sort of stuff. How do I coach and cue effectively without mirrors or machines? Now, obviously, this question was a genuine question, and the person that's asked this is obviously concerned about that. I would say you don't need to be concerned about that. So using your own eyes without the mirrors, moving around. So as part of our PT training, the courses that we deliver at Storm Fitness Academy, we emphasize the importance of observing from a range of perspectives and positions. So there's something called the different planes of motion. So sagittal plane, frontal plane, and transverse plane. And so the body moves in these 3 different planes. And the best way to be able to look at symmetry and look at muscular balance and whether someone's moving well is to move around them, move around that client and observe from the front, the side, the back. So that would be my advice there, is just make sure you're moving around and don't get lazy. Don't remain static. Move around a lot more. Move in and out clients. Stand on the outside so you can see all your clients together. If you're doing a boot camp, get on the outside quite a lot so you can view everybody at once. And when you're outdoors, because you've got so much space, you can move back quite far to look at everyone. So yeah, that's what I'd say there, is just get really good at moving about and using your visuals. This is a good question. What should I do when the weather's terrible? I was very concerned about this. So when I first set up Storm Outdoor Fitness, I thought, God, the British weather, how am I going to make this work? This is going to be a nightmare. I put in my terms of service that whatever the weather, we still continue. So make sure you bring suitable clothing. And obviously, I know terms of service, people don't read them. So I'd read that out to the client before they signed it. And I would just say to them, Storm Outdoor Fitness, we're a rugged outdoor training company. We don't cancel sessions because it's wet. We put our raincoats on and we crack on anyway. If it's cold, we wear more layers. You manage the client's expectation. Now, if you're the sort of person that's got no interest in training in poor weather, then you'll have to come up with some sort of backup, won't you? Whether it's you take them into your home or you train them in their home, whatever, that's up to you. But I just like the idea of going, we're going to train outdoors no matter what. I remember this guy once coming to me, really nice guy. He asked that question and I said, whatever the weather, we train outside, okay? This is what we do. I promise you, when you finish that session, you're going to feel even better for it because of the obstacles that you overcame to complete that session. His first session, it was torrential rain, like I'd never seen rain like it. We pushed through. He sent me a message later saying, I can't tell you how amazing I feel. I feel so proud of myself. And it was fine. It was absolutely fine. You will get very good at learning what is the right clothing to wear for different conditions. I think it's the Norwegians, isn't it, that say there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. How do I price and package outdoor PT? I don't think you should price and package it any different to if you were doing it indoors. Just because you are outdoors and you don't have to pay venue costs necessarily, you are still providing a service that is offering people results. You're offering people a transformation physically, visually, internally. You know, you're making them live longer, but you're making them feel so good. That has to have a good value attached to that. Don't drop your prices just because you're doing it outdoors. So when you set up those packages, just do it the same as you were doing it if you're going to be training a client indoors in a gym. Here's a great question. How do I market myself as an outdoor specialist? So this is great. So what you need to start doing is getting in the heads of people that like the outdoors. So people that like the outdoors, there's going to be certain websites they go on, certain social media channels they follow, certain influencers they might follow, certain TV shows they watch. They might watch Country File, they might love BBC Planet. You might find that they go into mountain bike shops and Cotswolds Outdoor Centre. Think about all the outdoorsy North Face. Once you create a sort of a customer avatar, the sort of person who likes to get outdoors, you can then start working out where you're going to find these people. So you can go and do presentations and talks at events that have outdoor people. So look for those guys there. I'm stereotyping, but outdoorsy people might often be also vegan. Not necessarily, but some of them might be vegan, vegetarian, or it might be actually the other way. They're farm type, people that love going to farm shops and buying grass-fed beef and very like organic foods and things like that. Often quite sort of middle class. I'm stereotyping again, but just start getting yourself into the head of outdoorsy people and where do they go. And then you want to lean into the pains and gains. So what is it that people want? They want more vitamin D. They want to get out in nature and feel like they've done something really positive. They want to get more appreciation for nature. And some of the pains are that they just don't like the gym environment. They don't want to be in a sweaty gym with people that are taking selfies and looking themselves in the mirror all the time. And I'm stereotyping, I know, but this is the sort of stuff that goes on in people's heads. That environment is not for them. But being outside with like-minded people, rucking together, running together, hanging out outside together, going for nice walks, swinging kettlebells, looking at nature, that sounds like a piece of them. Sounds like a piece of me, actually. As much as I do love to get in the gym and pump some iron as well, I do love the outdoors. Okay, there we go. So that was the list of questions that I've got all about how to set up and run a successful outdoor PT business. So I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure that you like today's episode if you haven't done, please. I know a lot of people that listen to this episode or watch it on YouTube haven't actually subscribed to our channel either. So do please subscribe. It's really helpful. Write comments. I'd love to read your comments. Do you like training outdoors? How does it make you feel? What have you done recently? Have you been to Sisbury Ring? That's where I am now. So yeah, it'd be good to hear from you guys. If you do ever feel like one day taking your enthusiasm for the great outdoors, getting yourself some PT qualifications and setting up your own outdoor fitness business, I'm your man. Contact us, stormfitnessacademy.co.uk. Enjoy the rest of your day.